The neon lights of Gangnam blurred into streaks of pink and blue as Amara quickened her pace, her breath forming small clouds in the November air. She'd felt them behind her for 3 blocks now, the same 2 men who'd been trailing her since she left the translation agency. Seoul had promised freedom. 6 months ago, she'd left Lagos to escape her mother's marriage expectations and build something of her own. Instead, she'd found Mr. Park, her former supervisor who couldn't accept rejection. She'd quit 2 weeks ago, but his harassment had only escalated. The footsteps grew closer. Amara spotted a sleek black car outside an upscale lounge. A man stood beside it, tall, dangerous-looking in an expensive suit, checking his phone with cold detachment. "Forgive me." She moved before fear could stop her. Min Jae Kim barely noticed her approach. At 32, he controlled half of Seoul's underground operations. He'd built an empire and felt nothing anymore, until she crashed into him. Soft hands gripped his lapels, and suddenly there were lips on his. Warm, trembling, urgent. His body went rigid, but his hands moved to her waist instinctively. The sweet scent of jasmine, the flutter of her pulse. Her fingers clutching his jacket like he was the only solid thing in a tilting universe. She pulled back just enough to whisper, "Please, please, just for a minute. Please." Min Jae's cold eyes met hers. Beautiful, desperately afraid, but defiant. Over her shoulder, he saw 2 men retreating quickly. One recognized his car and grabbed his companion, pulling him away faster. The woman hadn't noticed. She was still pressed against him, eyes squeezed shut, bracing for him to shove her away. "They're gone," he said quietly. Her eyes flew open. She jerked away, stumbling. "I'm sorry, I'm so sorry, I'll go." His hand caught her wrist, gently, firmly. "Who were they?" "No one. It's handled." "Who were they?" Harder now. She flinched. "Men who can't take no for an answer. But I handled it." He should release her, walk away. But his fingers remained locked around her wrist, and for the first time in years he felt something other than cold emptiness. Curiosity. "You handled it by kissing a stranger on the street," he said, something almost like amusement flickering in his dark eyes. "It worked, didn't it? They left because they recognized my car, because they know what happens to people who bother someone under my protection." He paused. "You just claimed my protection. In their world, that makes you mine." The color drained from her face. "I didn't. What's your name?" "Amara. Amara Okafor." "Min Jae Kim. And now we have a problem." He pulled out his phone. "Those men work for someone. When they report you're connected to me, their employer will either back off or come after you harder. To save face." "No," her voice hollowed. "My driver will take you home. Tomorrow we discuss what comes next." "I don't need—" "Yes, you do." He stepped closer. "You used me as a shield. That shield doesn't disappear because you want it to. Accept my help or spend your life looking over your shoulder." She hated him for being right. "This isn't fair." "No, but fair and safe are different things. Which do you want to be?" "What would you do in Amara's position? Accept dangerous protection or face the threat alone?" Drop your thoughts below. The interior of Min Jae's car smelled of leather and danger. Amara sat pressed against the far door, replaying the kiss with mortifying clarity. "You speak Korean well," Min Jae observed, "but you think in English first." "I've only been here 6 months, from Lagos." "The men following you, they work for your former employer?" "Maybe. Does it matter?" "Everything matters." He turned to face her. "If you want me to fix this, I need to understand what this is." "I don't want you to fix anything." Anger sparked through fear. "I'm sorry I touched you without permission, but I didn't ask to be stalked." "No, but you chose to kiss me. That choice has consequences." "So I'm yours now? Your property?" She laughed bitterly. "I fled one man who thought he owned me. I'm not trading him for another." Something shifted in his expression. "I don't want to own you." "Then what do you want?" The question hung heavy. Amara became acutely aware of how close he was, how his cold eyes now held something warmer. Hungry. "I want to understand why you chose me," he said finally. "You were just there." "Liar." The word was soft but absolute. You saw me and decided I was dangerous enough to scare them. What did you see? Someone who looked like they'd never been afraid of anything. Everyone's afraid of something. What are you afraid of? Min-jae went very still. Emptiness. The feeling that nothing I do matters. The confession hung stark and unexpected. Amara stared, seeing past the dangerous exterior to something achingly human. That's why you helped me, because for a moment you felt something. His jaw tightened. You should be more careful about understanding dangerous men. Will you hurt me? No. Fierce, almost angry. But others will assume you're important to me. Things that are important to me become targets. The car stopped at her building. Min-jae studied it with assessing eyes. This isn't secure enough. It's home. Not anymore. Pack what you need. You're staying somewhere safer. You can't kidnap me. I'm protecting you. Without my consent. Your consent stopped being relevant when you made yourself visible to my world. He met her furious gaze. I don't need you to like this. I need you to survive it. I came to Seoul to be free. Freedom and safety aren't the same thing. His voice held genuine regret. They should be, but we don't live in that world. Amara climbed out, mind racing. Every instinct screamed to run, but she knew he was right. 3 days, she said. Then I go back to my life. We'll see. Her phone buzzed. Mr. Park's voice oozed. Through, I heard about you and Kim Min-jae. Tell me it's not true. Min-jae took the phone. It's true. And if any of your men come near her again, I'll consider it a personal insult. Are we clear? He ended the call. 10 minutes, pack light. She moved. Min-jae's penthouse occupied 3 floors in Hanam-dong. Floor-to-ceiling windows overlooked the Han River. The interior was cold perfection. Amara stood in the center, feeling like an exhibit. So I'm a prisoner. You're protected. Same thing. If you were my prisoner, you'd know it. Something in his expression made her breath catch. This is protection, whether you appreciate it or not. I didn't ask for this. You kissed me. His control cracked. You claimed my protection in front of witnesses. Now the entire underworld thinks you're important to me. The alternative is finding your body in the river, and I don't... He stopped abruptly. You don't what? Amara challenged. Care? We're strangers. Why does it matter? I don't know, but it does. And until I understand why, you stay here. You can't keep me locked up because you're having feelings you don't understand. Watch me. They stared at each other, tension crackling. Amara wanted to scream. She'd spent her life fighting for autonomy, but she was also exhausted, terrified, and despite everything, she felt safer here. I hate this, she whispered. I know. He poured whiskey, offered her a glass. She downed it, immediately coughing. Not a drinker, he observed, almost amused. Not a victim either. You're not a victim. Victims don't argue with me in my own home. You're a survivor. The words hit deep. She sank onto the couch. My mother said I was too stubborn, that I'd get myself killed chasing independence when I should just marry someone suitable. Is that why you left? I wanted to prove I was more than a potential wife. I wanted to matter. You matter. To who? My boss saw me as a conquest. Your world sees me as a target. Min-jae sat at the other end, maintaining distance. You mattered enough for me to break protocol. I don't bring people here, ever. This is my sanctuary. Why break protocol for me? Because when you kissed me, I felt alive for the first time in 3 years, and I'm selfish enough to want to understand why. Amara's heart hammered. That's not a good reason to keep me here. Probably not, but it's the truth. They sat in charged silence. 3 days, Amara said finally. Then I want my life back. Your life was being stalked and terrorized. It was still mine. He nodded slowly. 3 days, but if the threat isn't neutralized, we renegotiate. No negotiation, I leave. Into danger. My choice. He studied her, calculating ways to refuse. But something in her face made him exhale roughly. Your choice, but for 3 days you follow my rules. Stay inside. Don't answer unknown calls. Don't contact anyone without clearing it first. Fine, but I need to work. You can work from here. How generous. He stood. Get some rest. Tomorrow we figure out who wants you hurt and why. Thank you, she forced out. For helping. Even if I hate how you're doing it. Something softened in his expression. Get some rest, Amara. Morning light turned the Han River silver. Amara found Min-jae in the kitchen, glaring at a smoking pan. You cook? I'm failing at breakfast. He gestured to blackened eggs. Soo-min has the day off. She started laughing, really laughing. Korea's most feared crime boss, defeated by eggs. Move, let me show you how it's done. She pulled out ingredients. How do you feel about Nigerian food? I've never had it. Tragic. Sit, watch, learn. The kitchen filled with the scent of tomatoes and peppers. Amara hummed, happy. Min-jae watched her with something like wonder. You're happy, he observed. Cooking makes me happy. My grandmother said food is love made visible. 20 minutes later, Min-jae discovered how seriously Nigerians took their pepper. His eyes watered, but he kept eating. You don't have to finish it, Amara said, trying not to laugh. Yes, I do. Pride is involved. Foolish man. You're foolish man, apparently. The words hung weighted with meaning. Is that what you are? He set down his fork. I don't know what we are, but I know I haven't felt this alive in 3 years, and when your 3 days are up, I don't want you to leave. Min-jae, I'm not trying to trap you. I'm saying, what if we tried something? Saw where this goes? This is crazy. I know you're brave and stubborn and you make terrible decisions when cornered. He smiled. I know you carry grief like armor, but you're not bitter. I know you cook when you're happy and bite your lip when you're thinking. She kissed him, cutting off the litany. This kiss was playful, spiced with pepper. When they broke apart, both were smiling. You taste like fire, he murmured. You say the most romantic things. His hands slid into her braids and the kiss deepened until they were breathless. We should stop, he groaned. Why? Well, because if we don't, I'm going to want more than I should take. What if I want you to take it? His control wavered. You're going to destroy me. Probably, but you'll enjoy it. He laughed, really laughed, then swept her up and spent the afternoon proving exactly how much he'd enjoy it. Later, tangled together as sunset painted the sky, Amara traced patterns on his chest. Tell me something true, she said. I'm falling for you, fast and reckless and completely against my better judgment. That's terrifying. Yes. I'm falling too. His arms tightened. Then we fall together. When this is over, Min-jae said quietly, stay anyway. Not as someone I'm protecting, as someone I'm choosing. And if I want my freedom, then I'll give you all the freedom you want. But I'll still choose you, every day. Amara's eyes burned. Then yes, when this is over, we try. Really try. He kissed her. Gentle promises. Of protection and passion and something neither was ready to name yet. Outside, Seoul glittered. Inside, 2 scarred hearts found their rhythm. Chemistry or catastrophe? Are they falling too fast, or is this exactly what both needed? Tell us what you think. Rain turned Seoul gray and intimate. Amara scrolled through her documented life in Min-jae's office, seeing herself through investigators' eyes. Your report says I came to escape a family pressure, she said. That's only half true. Min-jae looked over. What's the other half? I came because my little sister died. The words fell heavy. She heard him set down his pen. Her name was Kiyoma. 16. Smart, funny, full of dreams. She wanted to be a doctor. Amara's throat tightened. But my mother kept saying medicine was too hard for girls, that she should focus on finding a husband. What happened? Appendicitis, but she was embarrassed to tell anyone because she thought it was woman problems. By the time she collapsed, it had ruptured. Min-jae moved to sit beside her, his arm coming around her shoulders. Everyone said God's will and better place. But I kept thinking if she'd felt safe speaking up, If she hadn't been taught to be ashamed, her voice cracked, she'd still be alive. So you left. I thought if I could be brave enough, loud enough, independent enough, I could prove girls like Kioma matter. That we don't have to shrink ourselves to survive. She laughed bitterly. Instead, I'm hiding in a stranger's penthouse. You're not hiding, you're surviving. Min-jae was quiet then. My sister's name was Hye-jin. She was 14 when she died. Amara turned to look at him, seeing his pain. Our father ran protection rackets, small time. But he made enemies. When I was 20, a rival gang took Hye-jin to send a message, kept her 3 days. Her hand found his, squeezed. When we got her back, she was broken. Wouldn't speak, wouldn't eat. 6 months later, she walked into the Han River. Min-jae? I spent a year hunting everyone involved. My father tried to stop me, said it would start a war. I waited until he died, then burned their entire organization down. His voice went hollow. I made sure they knew why. Is that why you're so protective? I swore I'd never be powerless again, that I'd build something so strong no one could touch people I cared about. He laughed bitterly. The irony is, I stopped caring about anyone. Easier that way. Until I kissed you. Until you kissed you. And suddenly I was terrified, because caring means vulnerability. Amara shifted to face him. I scare you. Terrify me, because you make me want things I thought I'd given up on. What if being strong doesn't mean being alone? In my world, it does. People I care about become targets. Or maybe real strength is letting someone in despite the risk. She touched his face. Maybe you need someone dangerous enough to match you. You're dangerous, Amara Okafor. Good. Me more about Kioma, he said quietly. And she did. They shared memories of lost siblings, and somehow in the sharing, grief became lighter, bearable when divided between two. Thank you for seeing me, she whispered. The real me. Thank you for making me feel human again. Amara woke on day 3 to an empty bed and angry voices downstairs. She crept to the landing. Can't keep her here forever. A woman's voice. She's a liability. The longer she stays, the more exposed you become. I'm handling it. By sleeping with her? Very professional. Amara's stomach dropped. Watch your tone, Ji-woo. Someone has to be the voice of reason. You're jeopardizing everything for a woman you met 3 days ago. She's no connections to our world, no ability to protect herself. She's dead weight. Silence. Amara gripped the railing, waiting for him to defend her. You're right, Min-jae said, and her world tilted. She doesn't belong in this world. Then end it. Pay her off and move on. You have a war brewing. Suppliers getting nervous, police sniffing around. You don't have time for this distraction. I'll handle it. When? Today. Amara didn't wait to hear more. She pulled on clothes, grabbed her things. Distraction? Dead weight. Doesn't belong. Her phone buzzed. A text. The car outside is yours. Driver will take you anywhere. MJ. So he was already arranging her exit. Couldn't even face her. She was in the elevator when her phone rang. Min-jae. Don't. Amara, wait. No, you were right. I don't belong in your world. I was naive to think 3 days could mean something real. Her voice cracked. Thank you for the protection. I'll figure out the rest myself. You don't understand. I understand perfectly. I'm a liability, a distraction, dead weight. She laughed bitterly. Funny how fast I'm falling for you becomes I'll handle it. That's not what I meant. It doesn't matter. Goodbye, Min-jae. She ended the call, blocked his number, and climbed into the car. My apartment, then the airport. Min-jae stood frozen, listening to silence. She'd blocked him. Well, Ji-woo said, that went well. He spun, fury igniting. You had no right. I'm your advisor. I watched you become human these past 3 days. It was beautiful and terrifying because you can't afford to be human in this world. So you destroyed it. I saved you from destroying yourself. That woman is everything you can never have. She'd make you weak, hesitate, get you killed. Or she'd make me worth saving. Ji-woo's expression cracked. You're already worth saving. She makes me want to be better than this. Better than the monster I've become. You're not a monster. And now I'm someone who drives away the one person who made me feel alive. He pressed his forehead to the glass. She heard me agree with you. Call her someone who doesn't belong. Because it's true. Because I'm a coward who couldn't defend her when it mattered. He turned. Get out. You're fired. You can't. I choose nothing. I'll burn it all down before I let it cost me one more person I love. You love her? After 3 days? After one kiss? He grabbed his jacket. You're right, she doesn't belong in my world, so I'm building a different world. One where she can be safe and I can be human. And you're not invited. He called his lieutenant. Track Amara Okafor and get me everything on Park. I'm ending this today. Amara's apartment felt small and empty. She pulled out her suitcase, trying to decide what to pack for Lagos. Back to her mother's disappointed sighs and her sister's ghost. You were supposed to be brave. Instead, she'd fallen for the first dangerous man who showed her kindness. A knock at the door. Amarasi? I'm Soo Min. I work for Mr. Kim. He asked me to bring you something. Amara opened the door a crack. An elegant woman held an envelope and a gift box. I'm not interested. He thought you might feel that way. But he said these are yours regardless. No strings. Inside the envelope, a complete dossier on Park and his network, evidence of trafficking connections, a confession. He spent all night dismantling the organization that targeted you, Suman explained. Park is in custody. His associates scattered. The trafficking network is being investigated. You're free to go anywhere. Mr. Kim made sure of it. Amara's hands shook. Why? Because he loves you, even if you never forgive him. The gift box held a bracelet, Nigerian amber and Korean jade. A note in Min-jae's handwriting. Amara, you don't belong in my world. My world is dark and violent. But you showed me there could be something different. I've started legitimizing my businesses. It will take years, but I'm committed. Not for you, though I want to be worthy of you. For me. Because you made me remember who I was before grief consumed me. If you leave Seoul, I understand. But know this, you saved my life that night. Not from danger, from emptiness. You're free now. Use that freedom however you choose. Forever grateful, Min-jae tears streamed down Amara's face. He's been miserable all day, Soo-min said gently. Barking orders, making reckless decisions, but also determined. I've never seen him care about anything except power. Until you? I heard him say I was a distraction. You heard him agree before defending you, before firing Ji-woo, before deciding to rebuild his entire life. She smiled. Sometimes men say foolish things when scared. The question is whether you can forgive him for being human. I don't know if I can trust him. Then don't trust him yet. Trust what he's doing. Watch his actions. She stood. He's waiting if you want to talk, but no pressure. You're free. After Soo-min left, Amara sat with the bracelet, the evidence, the note. Free, but freedom felt hollow. Because freedom wasn't the absence of connection. It was the choice to connect. She unblocked his number. We need to talk, not at the penthouse, somewhere. Neutral. His response came instantly. Anywhere you want. She gave him a cafe address near Hongdae, then changed clothes and prepared for a conversation that would be a beginning or an ending. Min-jae sat in the cafe looking like he hadn't slept, hair disheveled, exhaustion carved into his features. When Amara walked in, his face transformed. You came. I came. She sat. I got your package. I'm sorry. For what you heard. For not defending you immediately. For being a coward when you needed me to be brave. Tell me what you actually think. The truth. Min-jae took a breath. I think Ji-woo was right that you don't belong in my world as it exists. I think bringing you into my life put you in danger. I think I'm selfish for wanting you anyway. He leaned forward. But I also think you're the best thing that's happened to me in years. I think 3 days with you taught me more about being human than 3 years of empire building. And I know I love you. Amara's breath caught. I love you, he repeated stronger. Completely, recklessly, in a way that terrifies me. His hand reached across the table. I can't promise I'll always say the right thing. I can't promise my world won't be dangerous while I'm changing it, but I promise I will always choose you. Fight for you. Build a life where you can be both safe and free. How can I be free if being with you means constant danger? Because I'm not asking you to live in my penthouse like a prisoner. I'm asking you to live your life, work, friends, dreams, while I make sure you're protected doing it. He held her gaze. And I'm asking you to let me try to be someone worthy of you. Someone who builds instead of destroys. I need time. I need to trust this is real. Take all the time you need. I'll wait. His thumb brushed her palm. I'll be here proving myself, building something better, until you believe me or tell me to stop. I want to believe you, she whispered. Then let me show you. Not with grand gestures or control, with consistency, with patience, with becoming the kind of man who deserves you. And if I can't ever feel safe, then I'll let you go. His voice broke. And spend the rest of my life grateful for 3 days of feeling alive. She squeezed his hand. I don't want to let you go. Then don't. Just give me a chance to prove this is real. Okay, Amara said finally. We try, slowly, on my terms, with boundaries and honesty. He kissed her hand. Anything. Whatever you need. I need you to be patient while I learn to trust you again. I can do that. I need you to let me live my life, not just exist in yours. Already done. And if this doesn't work, you let me go without making it harder. His jaw clenched, but he nodded. I promise. Then okay, we try. His smile was like sunrise. Thank you. Don't thank me yet. You haven't seen how stubborn I am. I'm counting on it. They left together, not quite touching, but close enough to feel the warmth. Seoul, sprawled before them, dangerous and beautiful. Where to now? Min-jae asked. My apartment, alone. When his face fell, she smiled. Slowly, remember? Cruel woman. You love it. I love you. Getting there, ask me again in a month. I'll ask you every day until you believe it. As she walked away, feeling his eyes on her back, Amara thought maybe she already did. Has Min-jae won Amara's trust, or does he still have work to do? What would you do? Drop your thoughts. The gallery opening was everything Amara had hoped for. Her photography series, In Between Spaces, Lagos to Seoul, hung on pristine white walls. Min-jae stood beside her, devastatingly handsome, his hand warm at her back. That one's my favorite, he said, pointing to a photo of Gangnam Shadows. Because you're in it. Because it captures the moment everything changed. She looked closer. There, barely visible, was his profile from that first night, before she'd kissed him. I didn't realize I'd captured you. Fate, he said, laughing at her expression. Too much? Deeply cheesy. I love it. 3 months of hard and beautiful. Fights, makeups, doubt, and certainty. And through it all, he'd been patient. Later, as they stood alone among her photographs, Min-jae pulled her close. I'm proud of you. This is incredible. Thank you for supporting it, for letting me do this without controlling it. Thank you for giving me another chance. He touched her face. I love you, Amara. I love you too, Min-jae Kim. Completely. Recklessly. She echoed his words. I'm choosing you. His kiss was fierce and tender. When they broke apart, both were smiling. What do you want to do now? He asked. Take you home, my home, where you can stay over if you want. I want, he grinned. I've been very patient. You have? Mission accomplished. Oh, I'm just getting started. They left her gallery, hands intertwined. Amara thought about that terrified woman who'd kissed a stranger to survive, who'd feared that kiss would trap her. Instead, it had freed them both. She'd kissed a dangerous man to escape stalkers. She'd fallen in love with him because he helped her find herself. And that made all the difference. What did you think of Amara and Min-jae's love story? Have you ever taken a risk that changed your life? Drop a if you believe in unexpected love and tell us your thoughts below. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more emotional stories.